Hello. What is going on, everybody? It has been a while. Didn't know what was going to happen, what we were going to do. I wanted to stream earlier this week. I was like, I'm going to stream Monday. I'm going to stream Tuesday. And then I just kept going back and forth. So I didn't know what to do. Obviously, the Eagles news is very, there's not really much going on right now. This is the dead time of the year. So I'll wait till more people come in, so this way everybody knows. I'll have a post about it as well. So I appreciate whoever joins the stream today. Nothing crazy. We'll go for an hour. This is going to be the last stream on the channel for this week. We'll have the shakedown tomorrow on Philly's channel. We might have a special guest tomorrow, but there will be pre-recorded videos next week. So I will not be active on YouTube next week. I will be off the whole entire week from YouTube. So I'm taking just the whole week off. It's just that time. And that's it. You know what I mean? So, I put last stream, not last stream as in it's my last stream on YouTube. It's just my last stream for this week. And then obviously next week I will not be on YouTube at all. I'll be answering comments and stuff like that. But there will be pre-recorded videos that are already going to be scheduled for next week. So you will get content next week. Me and Philly are going to put out some content together, pre-record some stuff for next week as well. So you guys will be doing your thing. So, and that's it. We're pretty much good. It's just the last stream for this week. That's it. And then we're set. You know what I mean? So till more news comes out, and it's just a break. It's just the dead zone part of the off season, because once July, middle of July, comes around, we'll be back and ready to go. You know what I mean? So we'll be ready. But training camp can't come soon enough. I want to see this competition. I want to see what we have in the building. I want to see the depth. I want to see just who's bringing what to the table. You know what I mean? So I appreciate everybody that's been patient. It's been watching the videos, and that's had, been supporting this whole off season, whether it's been for a week, a month, a year, or since day one. I definitely appreciate it. Oh yeah, no, I had no intention to say it by last stream as in my last stream ever. My last stream pretty much for a week. I mean, I haven't streamed at all, period. I really haven't even streamed whatsoever. So I'm not going to be streaming at all next week. Next week, there's going to be no content. I mean, there will be content, pre-recorded stuff will be scheduled next week. But I will not be active on YouTube at all next week. So from Sunday to Saturday, that's it. And then we start fresh the week after. Then once we get, closer to training camp, and we're going to be streaming a lot. Probably every day of training camp. We'll probably be streaming every single day. And just talking about everything that's been going on. So that's pretty much the plan right now. I want to say what's going on to everybody. We got Dulcin Turner. What's going on? We got Spiritual Lee, Max Mayfield, Tanner, Samuel Rowe. What's going on? Trav, Eagles Slayer. What's going on, man? Joseph Dodd says, "What's up, Joey? Got anything to expose Philly 500?" No. No. We thought it was really funny. AO says, "Let's all hang out." Pause. Yo, Loyal, what's going on, man? Rollins says, "You doing all right, man? I like the buzz cut. I thought Lane Johnson was on the camera." No, I cut it today. Because I just want to have it short right now. So, yeah, that's the way it goes. Dane said, "I'm still glad we didn't trade for Watson. We would have had to give up all the assets plus the off-field situation." You know what's crazy, though? It looks like he's actually going to be suspended for the whole freaking year. He might actually get suspended for the whole year. It's actually probably going to happen. That sucks. For them, that sucks, because who would have thought? You know what I mean? I didn't think it was going to be a whole year suspension. I mean, he's not even charged with anything right now. So do you guys think that's fair, though? If the guy's not even charged, should he be suspended for the whole year or in trouble with the NFL at all in general? So, Trev says, "Who would think we love you, bro? Don't break." No. You're good, man. You're good. It's just for next week. That's all. It's just for next week. Maverick says, "Give yourself a break before training camp." No, that's what I'm doing. I'm literally taking a whole week off from YouTube, next week. Whole week. There will be content out next week, so definitely look at that. There will be content out, but it's going to be scheduled. So between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be putting out a lot of stuff for next week. Me and Philly are going to put out some videos for next week as well together because we want to definitely talk about some things together as well. So showing off what's going on. Richard Kane. Donald Quinney, what's going on, man? Brand Wright says, what pick do you think we'll get from the Saints? God, I don't know, man. I don't know what that pick is going to turn into. It's a really hard schedule for the Saints this year. It's not an easy schedule. I think it'll be. Everyone thinks it's going to be a top 10 pick. I think it'll be a 15 to 20 pick probably next year. I mean, that's what I could see right now. Yo, Devin, wait, what's going on, man? I'm doing good, man. I hope you're having a good day. Jay says, I think it's fair, Joey. Dude got suspended 16 games for gambling. No, I'm not talking about Calvin Ridley. I'm talking about Deshaun Watson. That's what I'm talking about. Yo, Bryce, what's going on, man? Francis Christian says, JG is on the hot seat. If we can't produce with the defense, he won't see a head coaching job. No, I don't think so. I don't even know how he had a few interviews for a head coaching job this past year. Kind of didn't make sense to me at all, but Jason, what up, Joey? I appreciate what we do. I appreciate it so much, Jadis. Hit the Gritty says, do you still think we can get Kareem Hunt? I don't know. It depends on the compensation, what they want. Depends on what we have in the building already. Like, I think they keep Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott. I think you keep a fourth running back. So, like, I would like to see what Kennedy Brooks can do. I think he'd be our bruiser back. But I feel like if he doesn't work out, they could go after Jordan Howard again if he doesn't get these little stinger injuries that keep him out for weeks and weeks and weeks. So Kevin says, will Archie Manning be our QB in 4 years? That's funny. Yeah, I saw that he's with the Texas Longhorns now. I saw that the other day. Ayo says, hell yeah, that's unfair. One time I got arrested because someone called the cops on me and said I did something, but cops had no proof, but they still had to arrest me. They said, that's retarded. I mean, anybody could blame somebody for something they didn't do. So that's kind of messed up. Remo said, I completely forgot we got the Saints pick next year. Awesome. It's so fun that we get to root against another team every week. Gonna miss that. Yeah. We'll be updating on the Saints every single week of the season. Brand said, who do you think Jaquiski Tartt will replace Epps or Harris? I think Harris. I think he might replace Harris just because of his. I mean, his coverage isn't great. You know, he's a bigger safety, but can he be better than him? Maybe. I think he's starting material, to be honest. I really do. Putia says, happy Friday. Happy Friday to you as well. He also says, sad that anyone can call the cops on anyone they can arrest. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous. Routes the Saints have a hard schedule, no doubt, but that receiving core is nasty. You're probably right. It'll be about 15 to 20. I'd be surprised if Saints are top. No, I doubt it. Unless they totally flop. Great, but Joe says, plus if Miles does not have a good year, gets injured a lot, we have good running back core, Ball Scott, Kenny G, and Jason Huntley, which is underrated. He can't forget about Brooks and Jordan Howard. Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, dude, like Boston Scott's on a 1-year deal. Kenny G, I'm looking for really good things from him this year. Like Kenny G is definitely going to excite me a little bit. He had a really good year last year. I think going into his second year, he's going to be more in that dual threat. I think I really liked how they used him, in the slot as a receiver and kind of passing the ball as well. But man, I feel like they're not using Miles enough to his full potential. Like how Doug used him in his rookie year. I really liked how they used him, and they're just not using him the same way. And I wish they used him differently. But he's got to stay healthy. And I don't know, guys, like unless he takes a pay cut or he doesn't want that much of a big contract, like I'm not into paying running backs. As much as Miles Sanders is one of my favorite players on the team, like I don't want him to walk, but at the same time, like I don't want to put too much money into the running back position because I don't think you need to. With this offensive line you're going to have for years to come, once once Cam Jurgens takes over Kelsey's spot, and you have Malata on the left side, with Landon Dickerson. And, once Lane Johnson retires, I think Driscoll will move to that right tackle spot if he stays healthy. And, I think Samalo Juergens will actually compete for that right guard spot this year. So we'll see. We'll see. Yo, George Burwell, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Brad says, do you think Tart is the last move? I feel like there's one more move. I think there will be a running back. Maybe they sign a running back, whether it doesn't necessarily have to be Kareem Hunt, but maybe someone off waivers or something. I feel like maybe there's one more move, but anything major, probably not. Probably not right now. I love Weed says, what up, Joey? Last stream, you convert Cowboys? Yeah, right. In your friggin' dreams, bro. Hell no. Danny said, I think the Saints will be average team this season. I don't think they're going to be good at all. I don't. But these are red flags. Law anyone. Joe says, hope Reagor has a good year. I don't know what's going to happen with Reagor, man. I really don't. If you don't see him at training camp, that means they're trading him. If you see him at training camp, maybe they kind of do like a Zach Ertz thing where they kind of would just practice with the team. We'll try to move you. I don't know if they're moving him. I mean, I feel like they're moving him before training camp. I feel like by training camp, he will be moved. I think Tart might be the last move. It might be. James said, listen, Watson should know when he got a massage and then stand up. Your dude tucked in no woman likes a Roman war helmet. Pause. So being suspended 16 games is fine. Danny says, I wonder if Baker Mayfield will get traded soon. If I'm Mayfield, I'd rather go to Carolina. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think Carolina has a better built team than Seattle. I think Seattle's still building right now, so. Yo, Bacon says, I love you must be smoking some good shit to think that Joey would convert to Dallas. Yeah. Yo, Ron Azero, what's going on, man? He says, Joey Shakespeare. I wish, but Gustavo Meza says, this isn't sports, but how do you feel about everything that is going on in America? I don't really talk about that. I mean, I really don't even listen to it, to be honest. Like, I don't watch the news. I don't even care what's going on, to be honest. Not that I don't care about, obviously, certain things, but, I got no control over it, so it is what it is. George said, I think Tart challenges Harrison Epps will start regardless. In my opinion, he's a young, intriguing player that could show out and first. Real shot to start. Yeah, I think either way, it's a good thing. Even if he's not starting, Tart is good to have as depth because behind, Anthony Harrison and Marcus Epps, there's nothing behind there. Kavon Wallace, I mean, that Kavon Wallace, I can't stand that guy. That guy talks more than he plays, and he's all talk and no play at the end of the day, so. Brand says there's no way the Saints are contenders, even with the receiving core, because they still have Winston at QB. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think their receiving core is great. I think it's awesome. Yeah, even having, oh my God. I mean, what's his face? Dude, I haven't talked about these teams in so long. I'm like going out of my mind. After getting, obviously Michael Thomas coming back, Olave from the draft, I think is a good addition for them. And then Landry in the slot. I mean, it's a good receiver core. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know how much is going to get them, though. You know what I mean? We got a super chat from Dave Edwards. Thank you so much, man. He says, what up, Joey? The only hole I'm seeing on this team right now is punter. We need to find a decent punter. Yeah. Aaron Sipos has really pissed me off. Aaron Sipos, I thought he had a really good first half of the year, and then, later on, he just, fell apart, and he couldn't even kick 30 yards. So I totally agree with that, Dave. I totally agree. Love the profile picture, by the way. Love it. Thank you so much, man. Bacon says, Gustavo, thing going on in this world makes nuclear warfare look like opinion kidding, sort of. Ban the bot. Ban the bot. Hit Degree says, do we have it? Yeah, we have Aaron Sipos, but that's it. Jake says, when will your final prediction be when injuries come on after training camp? Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the roster. You're talking about what? You're talking about just the season in general. I'll have either what I think, how many, obviously the schedule and what our roster looks like. I'll have a video on that, and I'll have a video on obviously the final 53 plus the few spots that we can have on the roster as well. So. If Mrs. Why is this your last stream? No, it's not. It's my last stream for this week, man. It's not. I'm taking the whole week off from YouTube next week. It's very dead. I'm just taking the whole week off. So I'm gonna have pre-recorded videos for everybody next week. So there will be content coming out next week, but it's gonna be scheduled. So I will be answering comments and stuff, so I'll answer comments and things. I'll looking on everybody. John says, hey, Joey, happy Friday. Dude, how are you, dude? I'm doing good, man. That was Bradbury and Tart playing college together. Big. I never knew that. Never knew that at all. That's nice to know. Danny says, what do you think will be the overall reaction when Carson Wentz returns to Philly? I think it'll be more mixed than people think. I don't think it's going to be a good reaction. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be mixed. It might be mixed within, but I think what you're going to hear from the crowd is not going to be good. I don't think they're going to have a standing, hey, I don't think that's going to happen at all. A standing ovation. They're going to play a Carson Wentz video on the screen. No, it's going to be bad. It's going to be pretty bad. So, Brown says Emmitt Smith ran behind probably the greatest O-line in NFL history. Now he's all-time leading rusher. Would love to do the same with Miles with our O-line. Screw the three-headed monster. Yeah, I know, but that's what they're going to do though, because if we just had Miles Sanders and he was our only back that was really proven. Yeah, it would be horrible. You know what I mean? You don't have a featured back. There's really no such thing as a featured back anymore. You're either going to have like a 1-2 punch or a three-headed monster. That's why the Eagles invest so much to the offensive line. This way, they don't have to pay running backs, and you could plug in anybody you want, and you don't have to spend mid-tier to high-tier contracts for running backs. You know what I mean? Jay Jones, do you think Reagor does bad in preseason? He gets cut if he does bad. I think he's cut before training camp, dude. I think he's traded before training camp. I think by training camp, he's traded. They added so many receivers, whether they're starters, backups, practice squad, whatever, okay, or camp wide receivers, whatever the case may be. They added so many bodies, like they didn't, especially guys for special teams, even when Britton Covey, Devon Allen, like some of these other guys, even for special teams, like I just feel like there's no room for him anymore. Like, I don't know what's going on with the Eagles with him. I haven't heard anything about it. You know what I mean? If he's staying, I just feel like there's just no room for him. Between A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Zach Pascal, Quez Watkins, Greg Ward, you got Josh Hammond, you got Wheatfield. There's they added so many bodies at that position. Britton Covey, Devon Allen. There's so many guys that are probably better than him. But I understand he's a first-round pick, and I understand, you're supposed to give these receivers 3 years, but I think mentally he's just checked out, especially after Jeff Gladney passing away. The past 2 years with just all of his personal life has been a complete disaster. You know what I mean? So it's not going to cost much to release him, because now his dead cap is spread out for the next couple of years since the post-June. So it'll be like 1-point-something million. It won't be that much just to get rid of him, but I know that they would at least try to get some value for him if that's the case. You know what I mean? James Joe, I'm going to the Browns training camp. Oh, damn. Good for you, man. Phil Milligan says, prediction, we start hot, teams figure us out, and we get close to 500, but are in every game. I think it just depends on what they do with this playbook offensively. Like, they can't just do RPOs. They can't just do read options, which are big pluses for Jalen Hurts in the run game, because Jalen Hurts makes the run game work. But they need to add more to this offense. I think they will pass just a little bit more than they ran last year. I think they will pass just a little bit more, because now you have A.J. Brown. So, you got to do some play action, got to do some different things, so. Billy says Kenny Gainwell would produce better with Sanders if given the same opportunity this year. Yeah, if you put Kenneth Gainwell as an actual starter, yeah, maybe. Maybe he would. Philly's fine says, "What up, Joey? Hope all is well." I'm doing good, man. Hope you're doing it. I hope you're having a good time too, man. Hope you're having a good day. Hey, the Grace says, so we need a punter, a good one. Yeah. Barron says, do you think Howard will return? If Kennedy Brooks doesn't work out, I think he will. And if they don't trade for Kareem Hunt or something like that. Bacon says, Samuel, don't use those dreaded words. Did you learn nothing from Vince Young? John says, I'm good, Joey. It's fire here in Vegas. Oh, dude, I get it. Definitely. I get it. Phil said, Ram, just got my newest Philly tat. Send you a pic on Twitter just now. Yeah, I'll check it out, dude. I'll check it out. Cases Wentz is going to get a full-out boo. I totally agree with that. There's just no way it's going to go well. Cases, Reagor is a head case already. Yes, did you see comments, Joey? I'm going to the Browns training camp. Yeah, I've seen it. All right, Weed, I'll see you later, man. I'll see you later, bro. Brand says, what do you think they will try to get for Reagor? They probably want like a third, fourth round pick for him or something. I feel like teams just don't want to pay that much for him, compensation-wise. Paul says every team's carry wide receivers on their 9-man roster for summer camp job just for having enough receivers to run camp and drills. Yeah, I understand that. I mean, I totally understand that. Like they need to fill out like as much as they possibly can, which I have no problem with, but it doesn't make it guaranteed that Reagor's going to be here. That said, the NFL increased the active roster for this year. Yeah, I think it's like 3 or 4 spots. I forgot what the rule is. I have to double check on it though. Joe said, Joey, how much do you trust you have in Gannon with pieces we added on the? I don't know, dude. It's not great. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel very good about him, but I'm giving him another chance because we have no choice. You know, so I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, I'm hoping he puts he doesn't set these players up to fail, because if I don't see Hassan Reddick with 10 plus sacks this year, if I don't see this defensive line by itself get pressure this year, that's just the start of what this defense has to do. The pressure's got to be there. So if that's not the case, I think it's definitely a hot seat year for Jonathan Gannon. As much as some people say, oh, it's not going to be. I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You see the amount of pieces they add to this defense this year? Come on now. You know, let's be real. Let's be real on the situation. Barron says, so you think we could be losing Fletch, Kelsey, Graham after the season? Oh, 100%. 100%. I think Graham is gone, because Graham had an interview a couple days ago saying it sounded like it was his last year in Philly. Like he wants to play longer than this year. So this is the last year for Brandon Graham, and we'll see. I don't think he's coming back. I think they move on. I think if the quarterback position works out, you go into this draft in the first round, since the Eagles love the trenches, and they go get their number one defensive end for the future. That's what I think they do next year. They get their number one edge rusher next year. 100%. Kelsey's definitely gone. Okay, we already know that's going to happen. And Fletcher Cox is definitely gone. I think he's gone. Jordan Davis is going to move up to that spot next to Hargrave. I think Hargrave's going to get re-signed, which they could sign him and save. I think they can extend him and save $13 million if they do that. So I feel like there's a good chance that all of them could be gone. Jay said, you think Jake Elliott will break out the season because no one's talking? I think he, last year, because 2020 was such a bad season because of everything that was going on, but I thought he played really well last year. Like, I thought Elliott played fantastic last year, so I'm not really worried about Jake Elliott at all. Chavez says Kennedy Brooks will work out. I hope he does. Like, I think he runs between the tackles really well. He is a bruiser back. He runs a 4.59, but Devin Singletary ran the 4.5s. Alvin Kamara ran the 4.5s. Like, it's not even really about that, but I think his vision takes him. He has a lot of patience and really good vision from what I've seen tape wise on Kennedy Brooks. And plus he played with Jalen Hurts at Oklahoma too. So he knows them very well, as well as Grant Calcaterra and some of these other guys. So Paul said, a ton of experience, big running backs out there to bring into camp without training for one. Yeah, probably. I think you just got to plug somebody in, man. I mean, that's really got to do. John says, hey, Joey, who would you want the Eagles to draft next year? What position do you want this franchise to draft? A defensive end, safety, and cornerback. I think I would do a corner before a safety, because next year, like, the safety market's probably going to be crazy. Because look, the Eagles tried getting Marcus Williams this year, okay, and they're getting, they got Jaquiski Tart, and that's totally fine. You got depth, or you have a starter depending on how the competition goes. But man, if they want to put money into that position and go get Derwin James, or if they want to try Jesse Bates, I want to see in the next couple weeks, because Jesse Bates has a couple more weeks until he has to make a decision on if he's going to play on that franchise tag or not. Because if he's not, he's probably going to sit out, and the Eagles will probably try and trade for him next year. So, I mean, we'll see. Bain says Reagor's worth a BK Whopper at most. It might even push it. Joe said, Joey, got any prediction on who the Eagles might draft next year? I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know a lot of the prospects. Like I said, I watch a little bit of college football throughout the year, but I just don't have time every weekend to watch college football because I'm already busy enough between 2 jobs and everything else. But, once like December comes around, I'll be in my draft mode. And obviously 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. And will Jalen Hurts be the franchise quarterback? That's going to be the big question going into this year. And obviously after, this year is done, we're going to find out if, he's worthy of that. So Jose says, what up, Shakes from San Antonio, Texas, 505. It's hot here in Texas, 105. I couldn't handle that, bro. I can't handle heat. I don't like it when it's hot outside. I can't stand it. I meant to state teams carry 12 receivers every camp. No, I'm saying for the active roster. Oh, yeah, I would say, teams carry 12. Oh, yeah, that's fine. No, I mean, yeah, I totally get it, dude. I totally get they added a lot of receivers and they can carry over a good amount of them, yes. Case, I would accept the trade for Reagor, 2 cheesesteaks and a bag of potato chips. Chris says, Reachers is a great show on Amazon Prime if you like action movies. I haven't seen it, but I've seen, like, coming attractions to it. Drew said, why do you think they want a 3rd-round pick? I'm sure they know this value by now. I mean, they're asking for too much compensation. I mean, that's just me. I think they're just asking for too much, Ron said, I just hope our D-line ragdolls Wentz. I want to see our number 7 Reddick in the backfield all game, 7 on 11. That's what I'm talking about, dude. And the thing is, like, the Eagles know how Carson Wentz plays. Howie Roseman knows how he plays. Even it doesn't have to be Nick Sirianni. You know what I mean? But, I mean, Nick Sirianni has definitely seen him play. I mean, obviously. So it's going to be interesting, man. The game going to Philly, that's going to be nuts. We got to sweep Washington this year. Dan said, who's your breakout player for the Eagles on both sides of the ball this year? Breakout player this year? Oh, man. I think Miles Sanders is going to have a breakout year offensively. I think he's going to play really well this year. Contract year, chip on his shoulder, coming off injury, ready to just run his butt off. I think it's going to be Miles Sanders. Defensively, oh, man. Defensively. I'm probably going to say Reddick, or I want to say my boy Jordan Davis. I think he's going to have a great year this year. I think he's going to learn really quick. I think they're going to pin his ear back, so let him pin his ear back, and let him attack. And I think there's a lot of breakout candidates. I mean, I could probably say maybe like, Kaiser White might have a good year. I mean, I want to see what between Edwards and Kaiser White, which one does better, because both of those guys are, I think it's only 1-year deals this year for both of them. Edwards, I think he's a free agent after this year as well. So Jason, I hear you, Joey. I think Reagor gets shown the door. There's too much promising talent. If young guys just keep that bum. Yeah, I don't think he's, dude. I think he's gone, dude. I don't think he's gonna be here. Paul's a team's desperate need of speedy receivers. Bears, Colts, Falcons, 49ers, Packers, Browns, Ravens, to name a few. It's just the compensation that the Eagles want for him. That's going to be the issue. You have to draft defensive end in next year's draft, 100%. I think you have to draft that number 1 edge rusher next year. I 100% agree. I told you guys, I said one of those Georgia defensive tackles is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I told you guys for months. I said this. For weeks, I said this. Okay, and it happened, It happened. That's going to say if we don't need a QB next year, we're getting an end and a cornerback. We need to get younger at corner too. That's another one. That's another one that really makes me angry, because Slay's only here for 1 more year. Bradbury, I don't think they re-sign him, depending on how he plays this year, so I'm not really sure about it. But I want to see what the other competition is. Mario Goodrich, Josh Jobe, Kerry Vincent Jr., Matt McCain. There's a lot of depth at cornerback. What's his face from Texas Tech? McPherson, another guy that I was looking at, what I mean? So I want to see what we have behind that group, the starting group, what I mean? I mean, that even the guy we picked up off waivers, Jimmy Moreland, that's another guy, and he has probably the most experience out of all the corners because he's played inside and outside corner. You know what I mean? So Jimmy Moreland's got a ton of experience as a starter, and the Eagles got him off waivers. So it was a total steal at that, especially for a nickel because he plays nickel and could be the backup for Avonte Maddox. Luke said, one take on Barkley gets cut after another bad year. We should sign him and let Sanders walk. I don't know if I'd like that at all. Brad said, do you think Dean can win Defensive Rookie of the Year? And would you start who would you start at linebacker? It just depends on the front that they have. But I think Dean will work his way. I mean, he played late OTAs. He did play middle linebacker. So they had him on the weak side. They moved him to middle linebacker. I think you're going to have, depending on the front, like if you have God, you got four linebackers if they want to do full press. It just depends. Cover two, it just depends. But I would like to have Dean in the middle and have Kaiser White and TJ Edwards beside, which would be great. You know what I mean? If you're running a 3-4, something like that. Hassan Reddick is probably going to, move from, maybe outside, strong side linebacker, most likely. But I want to keep him as an edge rusher. I want Reddick on the edge. Like, I understand, I want him in coverage too, because I think he's definitely valuable in that area, but I would really like him. On the edge. Next to Hargrave, man. You have Graham, Cox, Hargrave, and Hassan Reddick, man. It's going to be a good line. It's a good line on paper right now. Also, Ev Cox will play another season or two by going the way of Kelsey signing one-year deals. He's not looking to uproot and move elsewhere. He's made a ton of money in his career, 100 plus. I know. That depends if that's, if he's ready to start taking less money. Brandon said, could you imagine if Jurgens played so well at right guard, he had to draft another? Yeah, I know. We already did it once. I mean, Dickerson, Dickerson had a lot of injury concerns when he got drafted. Okay. I wasn't happy about that pick. I was okay about it. It was a high ceiling analytical pick that if this pick worked out, it pretty much turned that draft to an A- for me. It went from a B+ to an A- because of that pick. If it worked out, Dickerson, yeah, I mean, he's playing so well next to Mulata, and he's playing so well that they don't want to move him. So God forbid Cam Jurgens goes to right guard and he plays really well. And I hope he beats Isaac Seumalo for the job, because I think Isaac Seumalo I'm very up and down with. I think his run blocking is really good. His pass protection is very suspect. I've never really been a big fan of Isaac Seumalo and his pass protection, but Chris said we should get Howard back for our bruiser if he can stay healthy. Wes says, Joey, well, who's your favorite Eagle running back all time? Westbrook, 100%. Westbrook, 100%, dude. Paul says Jurgens is not an NFL guard. Yeah, but I mean, if Dickerson could do it, I mean, I know he's definitely I know he's definitely smaller than Dickerson. There's no doubt about it. John said, Joey, what defensive ends do you see coming out of college? I don't even know, dude. I don't know until I start watching college games on Saturdays and stuff like that, and start looking at people throughout the year. I don't know yet. You know what I mean? So I try to catch as much as I possibly can during the season. A lot of these college teams. So, Jay, trading up for Will Anderson is my only answer. Yeah, his name has been flying around a lot. The Astro says, this is your last stream. No. This is the last stream for this week. I'm taking off YouTube the whole week next week, but there will be videos out next week. There will be scheduled videos out next week. So between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be working on some stuff for next week. So you guys have content for next week. And then when obviously when I'm back next Saturday, we'll be we're going to get down to some more content. So let's see. Joseph says, I see Britton Covey doing big things. He's like, oh, God, this is like the one guy I want to work out. Like, I want Devon Allen or Britton Covey to really work out, whether they're just special teams or they're like that Tavon Austin, wide receiver, that gadget wide receiver role for your offense, for jet sweeps, screen passes, just anything. You know what I mean? Just lining up in the slot, a running back, just use their speed for what they are. You know what I mean? So I hope one of those guys works out. I do. I'm like praying, like those like my two guys I'm like very high on right now. And if they don't work out, it is what it is. But Danny said Jordan Howard is underrated. He has to stay healthy. Yeah, I love Jordan Howard. Really do. Remember, if Hurts doesn't work out, I guarantee we are Super Bowl contenders in 23 because we got 2 first rounders. That's 100%. I totally believe that. If the Eagles play really well this year and Hurts looks a mile ahead of what we thought he was going to be, the Eagles are going to have a fun time next year, and they will be Super Bowl contenders next year. I feel like they will be contenders next year if they play that well this year. Really do. I'm not saying they have to get to an NFC championship game this year, but if they win, they have to win a division. I feel like they have to win a playoff game for me to really think that Jalen Hurts is really taking a big step forward. That's just me, though. Obviously, there's a lot more that goes into it when it comes to injuries and stuff like that. So, around to that corner, Achille Ringo got out of Georgia. Is nice, Joey. Let's reunite him with Dean and Davis in the 2024 draft. I think they're going to draft more from these bigger schools now, so we'll see. Chavez says maybe trade Reagor for Denzel Mims. Both need a I don't want to touch Denzel Mims, okay, because that guy talks so much crap about Philly. That guy called us a trash-ass city, if you guys don't remember. He talked a lot of crap about Philly, a lot, before in the draft process. He talked so much shit. It was ridiculous. Joe said we better get Booby in the end zone this season. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm hoping. I hope they do, because not even a touchdown last year. And I felt like when he got the ball like later in the year, I felt like he was just dancing way too much. He was trying to make a big play every time he had the ball in his hands. Bates said, I think our defensive breakout player will be Kaiser White. Interesting. I like Kaiser White. Another guy that could have stayed with the Chargers, and the Chargers were Super Bowl contenders the way they built that defense this year. The adverse says, do you think going to the draft that we would acquire both Jordan Davis and Dean? No, I didn't. I thought Dean was going to be I thought Dean was going to be taken a lot earlier. That's what I thought. Davis, big chance, yes. I was high on Davis the whole entire time. I mean, I was high on him since pretty much the combine, and I was like, we got to get this guy in the building. I think the Eagles are drooling over that pick and, that player, and I think they want to pick him in the draft, and they did. But the getting the Kobe Dean was a big surprise. I mean, he was a top 17 player to me, at least. I mean, he was healthy. I mean, there was so much rumors going around him because of just all these weird rumors about having all these injuries and and then Howie Roseman kind of, after the second day, Howie Roseman at his press conference was pretty much like, there's nothing wrong. He'll be good to go for training camp. He'll be good to go for OTAs. We're totally fine. He'll be good for rookie mini camp. So Paul's the Eagles 2023 picks, defensive end H. Albinato from Pittsburgh. Right to Paris Johnson, Ohio State, to groom to replace Lane Johnson. Remo says, I'm sorry, but I don't see the speediness Reagor gets described as having. Quez gets the same plays as him. He looks 10 times quicker and faster. There were times I saw Reagor couldn't even get past he got bullied off the line by a cornerback. There were plenty of times. There were plays where I saw flashes where Reagor gets an open space, he catches the ball, and he has and he ran pretty well. There are some times he really surprised me. And then there's other times where I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? Running out of bounds, getting back inbounds, slowing down on a route, which would have been, there were some passes Jalen Hurts threw to him that were great, but Reagor just either stopped or he slowed down, or I don't know. Paul says safety Akeem Dent will be on the radar for the Eagles also. Mario Goodrich. Paul said, I believe both Kelsey, Lane Johnson retire after 22. Yeah, we'll see, dude. Lane, I haven't heard much from, but we'll see. Nick says, what do you think realistic numbers are for wide receivers? Realistic numbers? I don't know. It just depends on the receiver. It depends if he's a possession receiver, if he's a pure speedster. If I'm looking at Devontae Smith, I think he can get 1,100 yards. You know what I mean? I think A.J. Brown will have more catches. I think Devontae will have more yards at the end of I think by the end of the year. And I think that number one corner will be on A.J. Brown at the beginning of the season. I think teams are going to start to put the number one corner on Devontae Smith later in the year. You know what I mean? So even if A.J. Brown had 60 something catches, but and not and the yards were and his yards weren't great, you know what I mean? Because I know he can contest catches. He's good in open space. I think both of these guys could have 1,000-yard seasons if they really wanted to, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think Devontae Smith will be your best wide receiver this year. So, do you see another trade coming this offseason? Or do you have to wait for the season to start? Nah, dude. I think what kind of trade? Like we're trading for someone or we're trading someone off our team. I feel like during the trade deadline, I feel like the Eagles are gonna. I think the Eagles are gonna definitely try to trade somebody off our team. I think we will try to trade and we will try to acquire somebody if it's not too expensive because it's fleece season. Once the end of the closer to the deadline, the more you're gonna get fleeced when you trade for players. So. Yo, Chris Scott, what's going on, man? He said, my man, Milkshake, brother, we need to replenish our D-line and secondary with draft picks in 23. I totally agree, man. Totally agree. Brad said, I think Reddick can add up to 18 sacks. Let me tell you something right now. If he doesn't get 10 sacks or more this season, it's not his fault. It's really not. If he doesn't get 10 plus, he's had 23 and a half sacks the past 2 years. He's got to have a good one. Paul says, I see Eagles offering Reagor and linebacker Davion Taylor for Robert Quinn. Yeah, Robert Quinn coming off a 17 and a half sack season. Is that going to be enough, though? Plus, he's old. I mean, he's old. He was productive last year, but he's like 32, 33. He's old now. He's a lot older now. Chris said we're going to probably lose Slade, Graham, and Cox will resign Bradbury. We need a great young safety, and we definitely need to increase that position next year. I feel like when it comes to free agency, that safety will be on the radar for the Eagles next year, 100%. I feel like that will be. If I have to guess on what position they'll put money into next year, I think it will be safety. I think that's going to be the position. Jolo says, Joey, I think Barnett is going to surprise everyone and play lights out. Do you think we get the same play from him, or do you think he will play? Do you think he will play well? I'm hoping he plays better than 8 penalties and 2 sacks last year. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping he helps us more than hurts us. Because Brandon Graham had that press conference, you guys remember, during OTAs, and he said, that Derek Barnett knows that the fans aren't really high on him right now, and he knows he has to prove himself, and he wants to get back to what he was drafted for, and being that 14th overall pick. You know what I mean? It's he didn't really pan out to be that. So I'm hoping he does, man. I mean, I think that was one of the worst signings we had, but I'm going to give the guy a chance this year and see what he does. But if he starts screwing up, then I don't know. It's going to be a whole nother issue. Jay says Andre Carter Dividends on Army will be a steal next year. 6'7", 250. Holy shit. Rest in peace, Adam Sandler. What? Is that true? Evil Eagle says, what do you think about Strong? I think he's got a great arm. But, other than that, it comes down to, can he stay healthy? Can he move around and climb in the pocket? He's got that old school mentality, that old school pocket quarterback mentality where he's just got to learn how to move up in the pocket and be patient and have better awareness. And I think, if they can get him to be like a Nate Sudfeld or something like at that nature where he could be a promising backup for Jalen Hurts if he's the guy, I think it's a great signing. I think it'll be good for us, but we'll see though. I can't wait to actually see him play, to be honest. Nick says, Josh Sweat didn't have much sacks, 7. I think because our defense wasn't good at system, I could see 12 sacks. Depends on rotation. I'm not looking for 12 sacks from Josh Sweat, though. He's getting paid to where he should get like 7 to 9 sacks a season. So that's like what he should be getting, to be honest. He's not, you know what I mean? It's not as much as everyone thinks it should be. I don't think he should be getting that much. I think he definitely should play better. I know he was injured for that playoff game, the wild card game as well, so we didn't have him for that game. But I think a better year for Josh Sweat, man. He's gotten better every single year. So, Randy, is the Big Green Nation Philly going to dominate the NFC East? Dude, they have to. They have to. If they don't, it's going to be a big L. Brad says Dayon Taylor could have been really good if he didn't get injured. That's been the problem, dude. I thought he got injured in the preseason, then he got injured again. I think it was close to week 10, like during our bye week or close to our bye week. Then he had that knee injury and couldn't play the rest of the year. I thought that first week, if you guys remember, we kept 7 linebackers. We had Davion Taylor, TJ Edwards, and we found that first combination that really worked. I thought worked really well. Davion Taylor was very physical. He was running all over the field. But, it's just an issue. Paul said 3 players the Eagles can't afford to lose injury to Kelce, Goddard, and Slay. They have quality depth elsewhere else to absorb injuries, but these 3, yeah, I totally agree with that. Totally agree. Evil Eagle says, if Philly don't beat the Cowboys this year, Hurts will look pathetic. Yeah, I mean, it's not even just the Cowboys. If he just can't beat good teams this year, it's not going to be good. And it depends on, I think, Sirianni. I wouldn't say Sirianni's on the hot seat, but he's got to hold Shane Steichen accountable, because if Shane Steichen ain't calling the right plays and the way they're scheming these receivers, and if they're not doing the right thing. I mean, they treated Devontae Smith like a number 3 wide receiver last year. They treated, Reagor like a number 1. I mean, he was messing up every single game, and Reagor was just getting worse every single game, and they just wouldn't bench him. I don't get it. How you keep if he's on another roster, Reagor would be benched for a couple weeks or a week or something. They didn't even try to or attempt to do that, which really pissed me off. Billy Bob says, we have the players to be good, but I have no faith in this coaching staff. Yeah, that's the next step to this whole thing. The next step to this whole thing, I mean, if you guys know, they didn't change any of this coaching staff, no positional coaches or nothing like that. I feel like this is going to be it. This is it. Like, if they can't get this team rolling and this coaching staff looks, there's definitely there's going to be changes next year. I think Shane Steichen's on the hot seat. I think Gann's on the hot seat. Nick has got to do a better job. Gann's got to do a better job, and both of them on both sides of football have to do a better job at, they got to make these adjustments. I mean, these adjustments are horrible, man. These second half adjustments have gotten better, but like the first half of games, man, we look dead in the water on both sides of the ball, like multiple games. It's just crazy. Jaden Ab says, do you think we're bringing Jordan Howard back? Right now, no. See what Kenny Brooks can do. See what some of these other running backs could do, and we'll see. Paul said, Picard Sharp reminds me of a young Phil Rivers and a pure pocket passer, and has very limited mobility and a degenerative knee condition as well. Back, neck issues, which is why he went undrafted. Yeah, those injuries, man, kind of messed everything up for him. Eagles can absorb A.J. Brown injury if needed. Pascal or – well, yeah, because – for the money on his new contract, he's not on his new contract this year, but it's a cheap contract this year, and then next year's even cheap. It's cheap next year. I think it's a little bit more expensive. It's like 8.3 next year, which is good on his new deal. So, I mean, I guess we can afford to lose AJ Brown, but we really can't. You know what I mean? And as much as I think you just need to add another player to that. I mean, to replace him, and it's not that putting Reagor back in the starting lineup if he's still on this roster is not gonna make things better. So, Daddy's Kitchen Will, what's going on, man? It says this staff has to prove it, or we will be looking for a new one. Yeah, that's definitely the second step to all this. Imagine Jordan Mailata getting a 4th and 1. I would totally love it. Chris Mears said we won't have as many sacks as everyone thinks because Gann is a bum. Jason Adams says they have surrounded Jalen Hurts with a lot of familiar faces he played with in some capacity. If you ask me, they already made a decision to build around Hurts. Well, no, I mean they're building around. Yeah, I mean they build around him the past couple years. But I'm saying this, they pretty much said, "Hey, Jalen Hurts, this is it. This is it. Like, you have all the weapons, you have everything you need. Like, not even just having weapons, like familiar, like you said, familiar faces. Like, he played with Devontae Smith at Alabama. I mean, he's best friends with A.J. Brown, and they work out every single offseason. Grant Calcaterra, they played together at Oklahoma. I mean, there's so many players, that he's played with or had familiar connections with. It's just crazy. Like, I feel like they're building around Hurts very well. It's just, it comes down to this coaching staff and play design and route combinations. And it just comes down to all that, man. Joe says Daniel Jones is the best QB in the NFC East. Evil says, who's your undrafted free agent standout right now? I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go look at Britton Covey or Devon Allen, one of those two. Mario Goodrich, definitely, because he's getting paid the most money. And I feel like every time they pay an undrafted guy the most money, they get significant playing time, just like Jack Stahl got paid the most undrafted money last year. And, he's more of a blocking, tight end, but, we'll see. Sean says, hey, Joey, Dallas changed their name to Dallas Choke Girls. Ian says, why is this your... Oh, no, this is my last stream for this week. This isn't my last stream on YouTube or anything. It was my last stream for this week. At the end of the stream, I'll tell you guys what's going on for the next few weeks. This way everybody knows. Brad said, I could see the Eagles still trading for a young safety. Yeah, they could. Is this your last stream just until training camp? No, I'm going to stream before training camp. No, just for this week. This is my last stream for just this week. And then next week I'm taking... All right, so here's the plan. I'll tell you now. So next week, the 26th, obviously till Saturday, I'm taking off the whole week. I'm taking off. Between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be making videos and scheduling videos for next week. So you will have content next week, but I will not be active on YouTube next week. Okay, so next week, I'm off the whole week. And then after that, more content. We'll get, because every day training camp, we're going to be streaming, but we're going to be streaming before that too. So it should be exciting, man. The average says Goodrich is more of a safety in my... I want to... And look, dude, I'm telling you right now, like I said this before, they have so many bodies at corner right now. I would like to see Josh Jobe or Mario Goodrich or somebody move around during training camp, like play multiple positions, safety and corners. Move some of these corners to safety and see what they could do. So, Go Eagles says, what up, Joey? Are you going to stream the preseason games? Yeah, I'll stream. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I will do. I will definitely stream the preseason games this year. Depending on because my area really sucks because you got to pay like $100 just to watch these damn, if you're not in the area, New Jersey or, close area to Philly to watch the preseason games. I mean, probably going to most likely stream on Game Pass. That's probably what I'm going to be doing. But don't look at the salary cap, Joey. Look at the file. The cap hit for a player. AJ Brown's up to 27 million, 24, 23 million, 25, and a whopping 37 and 25. But Eagles have. John says, how good out of Pittsburgh. He's good, Joey. So the kid out of Army, Andre Carter. Is that guy real? The Habakuk Baldon? Dude, I hope we don't draft him because I won't be able to say his damn name. Nick says, I'm looking to join your cult. Appreciate it, Daddy. Thank you so much, man. Paul says an option out after 24 for $15 million. They said, for argument's sake, let's say Hurts wins a Super Bowl. How much years would you sign him for? Say he looks good. If he wins a Super Bowl, I mean, yeah, I want to sign him long, like 5 year, probably a 5-year deal, something like that. I feel like Hurts wouldn't strangle the cap. I feel like he wouldn't intentionally want to strangle the Eagles cap. I feel like he would want to take a big deal, but it won't be as much as everyone thinks it's going to be, maybe. Habakuk Baldonado. That's gonna be an interesting name to say every week. Every week, that's going to be amazing. Let's see here. We're only going to stream for probably another 10 minutes or so. And that's going to be it. We're going to have the Philly Shakedown tomorrow, by the way, on Philly's channel. We might have a special guest, too. So tomorrow we'll have... You won't see me for the last time this week. I'll be on Philly's channel tomorrow. So the Irish definitely agree. We have more defensive backs than I can count to move these guys around as much as we can see if something works. No, I totally agree, man. I feel like they have to do that. Evu said the Eagles are building around Hurts. This is definitely an improved year because everyone is saying Hurts is the future. Even ESPN, NFL Network, people are saying that. I can't say if he's the future yet. You know what I mean? I can't say if he's the future at all. Like, I'm going to be supporting him and, I'm going to be criticizing him because now he's got a year and a half under his belt. I have to realize that he's only played a year and a half of football. I mean, really, 2020, he played 4 to 5 games. He played a whole season last year and a year and a half football. It's all he's played. It's a shitty situation for Hurts. I don't think it's his fault, but it's a shitty situation for him because, you'd have like a few years to, try him out and see what he could do. But time is ticking for us because, we're starting to open that window where we could be really good And then obviously by next year you could contend, but this situation needs to be rocking. You know, if Hurts doesn't work out, you know, those draft picks, goodbye to 2 first-round picks next year. You know, unless we don't win more than 4 to 5 games, which I doubt that's going to happen. But Nick said we got to get Mark Holmes on the shakedown. Yeah, maybe one day. I don't see why not. Those 2 guys bound down on Carter maybe going by whatever round we draft. Joe says, what's your opinion on Jared Goff? I think he's pretty underrated. I don't like him at all. I've never liked Jared Goff. I think if you get pressure on Goff, he's done. If you give him that 3, if he holds onto the ball more than 3 seconds, I think he's done. I think you could get him on the ground multiple times. You know what I mean? Spike says Hurts will be fine. Nick says, say Hurts don't work out. I think there's some vet quarterbacks too. Yeah, I mean, but who though? Who? I don't know. I mean, is Kyle Murray going to be available? Don't know. There's maybe a couple guys that I would look at, but overall, what you're going to have to give up, you're going to have to give up more for a veteran quarterback than you do in the draft, just depending on where you are. You know what I mean? I think you're going to give up more for a veteran quarterback. LD said, what kind of in-season trade do you think Eagles will make? I don't think it's going to be anything big, dude. If they trade for somebody, it's going to be for somebody, maybe a depth guy or something. I don't think they make some big trade at the trade deadline. I don't. I think if they're going to make a big trade, it's out of us trading one of our own players. But Agile Jack said, this year's legendary. We have our OGs from the old Super Bowl and our young dudes that's going to help get the new one. I hope so, man. Evil Eagle said, what if Strong outplays Hurts in training camp? It won't happen, but I don't think it will happen. If it does, I don't know. Then they'll have to start Carson Strong. I mean, if he plays better than Hurts, if Hurts looks horrible, and I don't think it's going to happen because it's just a weird question because I don't know. I don't think it's even going to happen. Barron said, would you sign Tom Brady for a year if Hurts ain't the guy? No. No. I said we might never see Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis line up beside each other again after this year. Well, they're not going to line up next to each other this year anyway, because it's going to be Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave. Then the second's going to be Davis and Milton Williams. Milton Williams, I'm pretty excited for too, going to his second year. I thought he had a really solid year, especially that last game against the Cowboys when he faced the offensive line starters for the Cowboys. I thought he played really well. He kept them in the game for a long time. Nick said if Hurts don't work out, Strong could possibly maybe Strong is going to be used a lot preseason. I think so. I said, I think the Eagles will sign another defensive end before the season. Not sure who though. I mean, I don't know. Like you're talking about a top premier player, probably not. Joe said, who do you think could be a surprise cut after minicamp? Surprise cut? I think Greg Ward would be a surprise cut for me. I think Greg Ward would be. Just because I don't think they value Ward as much as they used to. You know, I just don't think they value him as much. Yo, City Boy, what's going on? They're hoping Brooks, Strong, Covey, Goodrich make the final roster. Yeah, I would love it. I would love it. LD says, glad Howie didn't pull the trigger on Watson. We would have been screwed. Yeah. I mean, when you trade for somebody like that, don't you go to like Roger Goodell and say, hey, like, what does it look like it's going to happen if we trade for this guy? Like, we might trade for Deshaun Watson. Is he going to get suspended? Is he going to be out? Like, he's going to be sitting on the bench. You're going to be paying him all this money just to sit on the bench. Evil says, are you big on the new safety? I'm not. I mean, I think as for depth purposes, as a veteran that's had a lot of starting experience, yeah, I'm pretty big on him right now. Yeah, because I think he's going to be a value whether he starts or he's a backup. I think it's good depth for us, so it's a good signing. Brett says, no way J-Jaw stays. No, probably not. They said Ward, J-Jaw, 2 players likely to be cut. I agree with that. After it says our D-line package is gonna be insane this year. Paul said, I like QB Grayson McCall from Coastal Carolina. Very solid NFL QB. He's smart, big arm, mobile, mature for his age. Keep an eye on him. 23 draft as late as a first-round pick. The advert says, no way keep Ward. I'd rather have him than Reagor. No ill will towards Reagor. They'll feel terrible for him. Jason says, you the man, Big Daddy Joey. Ooh, relax, bro. Relax, bro. It's all good. I know you love me. You don't gotta love me that much. So, I mean, it's gonna be it's probably going to be one of the most exciting off seasons. I mean, not off season, but at least when it comes to probably one of the most exciting training camps to preseasons that probably we've ever seen. Because I'm not saying I'm never excited every year, but I think with this roster right now and how much depth they have at certain positions, I kind of want to see what they do at cornerback. I want to see, obviously what the linebackers do. I want to see what the Kobe Dean could do. I want to see. I want to see how much Marcus Epps has gotten better. There's a lot to look at. I want to see, Kennedy Brooks. I want to see Maro Goodrich and Josh Jobe, and I want to see the speedsters, for special teams or whatnot, contributing to this offense, whether it's Devon Allen or Britton Covey, some of these other guys. Paul says QB Young from Alabama, 6'6", 2-3 years away as he needs to mature into his body before playing in the NFL. Yeah, dude. I'm wishing. I hope. The only good thing is if Jalen Hurts doesn't work out and they grab a QB, he's put into a really good situation because there's a team built around him instantly as soon as a new quarterback comes here. But I don't want that, dude. I want Jalen Hurts to work out so bad. Man, God, if he could just play really well this year. Josh says, Joseph says, if James Bradbury plays terrible at corner, is he getting torched? Do you think they would move him to safety? I don't know. If he plays terrible, I don't think he's going to play as bad as everyone thinks he's going to play. I mean, he hasn't been a Pro Bowler the past 2 years. I mean, he gave up over 800 yards receiving last year, but I mean, I wouldn't say just because he's playing as a number one, but the Giants defense was run really horribly. So. Paul said it wasn't Howie's decision about D. Watson. It was D. Watson's decision that it was not interested in playing in Philly. And I'm totally fine with that. So I always said if Miles Sanders gets hurt, to see you Kenny Gain won't take it over. Yeah, most likely. If Miles gets hurt again, I totally agree. If Miles gets hurt again, he's done. I don't think there's any chance of him even coming back. If he misses multiple weeks, like if he misses a week, I won't care, but we'll see. But yes, sirree, guys. So it's been pretty quiet. There really hasn't been much news going around. I mean, really been nothing, Like there's some things I maybe talk about here and there, but nothing, it's crazy. Brandon Graham is definitely probably going to be gone after this year, So. So the schedule, just to remind everybody, is we'll have the Philly Shakedown tomorrow, but it will be on Philly 500's channel. We will have a special guest, I think. He's still working out the rest of the kinks to that, so we might have a special guest on his channel tomorrow. Then starting next week, I will not be on YouTube all week. I will be taking the whole week off of YouTube. Okay, the whole week I will be taking off, but there will be scheduled videos throughout the week. So between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be making some videos for next week. Some things I had some interesting things to talk about. Me and Philly 500 are actually going to be pre-recording some stuff as well for next week. So I will have scheduled videos next week. So some videos will pop up. I'll look at the comments and I'll answer people in the comment section to the videos, but I will not be active on YouTube. So things will be, videos will be scheduled next week, but I will not be active. But besides obviously looking at the comment section and stuff, and I'll, answer some people and stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty much the plan. So I'll see you guys at the end of next week. I mean, I'll see you on Philly 500's channel tomorrow night. But other than that, I'll see you guys, late next week. And that's it. So if you guys haven't, check out the memberships as well. We've actually changed some of the memberships around a little bit. So if you are a Shake Squad captain, I do a lot of other stuff. I do like trailer and video game reviews, reactions, like stuff like that, the things I do like outside of football. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely check that out. It's in the pinned comment description below. Definitely for all Eagle stuff, for all Eagle stuff related, you just pick the first tier. You know what I mean? But it's yeah, it's going to be interesting. Going to be very interesting. So if you guys want to join up, definitely join up. If you guys haven't, link is in the live chat right now. And that's it. So we'll be set for tomorrow for the Philly Shakedown. I'll be on Philly's channel, and then that's it. Then I'm taking the whole week off next week, and that's it. That is it. And then once we get, I'm going to make content as soon as I get back, I get back on YouTube, we'll make more content and we'll have more streams. And once July 26th comes around the corner, the Philly Shakedown, Saturday will be it. We're going to be missing 2 or 3 Philly Shakedowns. So we'll be gone for a few weeks. And that's it, and that's pretty much it. So, all right, guys, you guys have a fantastic day. I appreciate you guys coming in for an hour, a little bit over an hour. What is it, an hour and 6 minutes? So we'll be back. Join Philly 500's channel tomorrow. Talk more Eagles. And then that's it. We'll see you late next week. But look out for videos. I'll have videos out there in the week. I just won't be active on YouTube next week. So, all right, you guys enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Shake Squad up, follow. Peace out, guys.